What's going on, everybody? Today is a special day because we've got a guest in the house. Pazuzu from the Exorcist series. How you doing, bud? Did you see the new Exorcist movie?
Yes, I did, and no, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, wasn't that good, huh? Well, that's too bad. You want to watch another movie? It's got demons, a lot of gory violence, and a lot of sex.
What movie is that?
Yurut Suki Duji, or The Legend of the Overfiend. The Legend of the Overfiend is a 1989 dark fantasy anime that is categorized as a porno. I disagree. While yes, there is a lot of sex, it did popularize a subgenre of pornography known as tentacles. It's a far stretch from what I would consider pornography. It's more horrific than anything else. The movie opens with a very lengthy text scroll and narration describing what's about to go down. There's three different worlds. The human world, the bad demon world, which is known as the Mukai, and the good demon world, known as the Jujinkai. From here on out, I will only be referring to them as the good demons or the bad demons. Every 3,000 years, the god of all gods, the Chojin, or the Overfiend, will be born in the human world and will unite and purify the three worlds. That's pretty much that. Our story opens up in some sort of school setting. I don't know, university, high school, you take your pick. Where a basketball game is going on. Up in the rafters is Amino Jocko. He's going to be our main character for this. He's one of the good demons. During the basketball game, we have this guy spying on a girl's locker room. This is Magumo. Magumo is out of the locker room, still spying on the girls and his popular girl crush, Ikemi. Amidst all this, the popular basketball guy sees this and he does not approve. Bam! After the assault with the basketball, the guy walks over to him and fucking licks the blood off his face. What a creep! Wow, what a fucking bizarre scene that was. However, sitting outside like the loser he is, Magumo notices a teacher lady escorting his crush, Ikemi, and she looks kind of sad. She takes her into this little room, and of course he's spying and following, and almost immediately out of fucking nowhere, she begins to, how do I put this? She begins to, assault Ikemi. Amino shows up and says, "What's going on here, bro?" Nothing, I was just looking at some shit." "Cool, can I see too?" And they both begin to watch. However, things take a turn for the weird pretty quick. Ah! Oh no! Ah! Ah! There's some stuff going on that I can't quite show, and it goes on for a while. However,
Who dares to intrude?
uh-oh. Shit. Amino Jocko steps up and says, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing, monster?"
Who are you?
Ha! You must not be much if you don't even know who I am.
I barely know who you are. Oh! Awesome. It should also be said that Amino Jocko has powers. They are not explained at all. Oh no! Look out, bro! Oh, fuck! Oh! Damn!
No big deal. Counter-Strike.
What the fuck?
Bye-bye.
Megumo, however, goes in the room after Akemi, and the moment she wakes up, she's like, "Oh, you saved me, I love you," and now they're a couple. While Amino's waiting outside, this stupid little fuck shows up, whose name is like Kokomo or whatever, and his sister shows up. Amino and his sister later that night are sitting on top of a building, pretty much discussing, "I think I know who the Chojin is." Amino thinks it's that popular basketball guy, and his sister doesn't tell us who she thinks it is. The popular basketball guy is literally hanging out with a bunch of chicks and getting drunk, while Megumo and Akemi are walking around a park having some ice cream.
Thank you, but I don't feel like it.
Okay, I'll take both.
Bro, considering what's just happened to her earlier today, very poor taste, dude. Very bad joke.
Tell me it was just a bad dream.
Blocking that out is probably the better idea. In the middle of hanging out with all those chicks, the basketball guy's wiener starts freaking out, I guess, going Super Saiyan. He runs out in the hallway to find his girls. Whoa, and they've all been splattered, mutilated. Whoa. Wow.
So you're the Chojin, aren't you?
Bad demons can possess the humans, but only after they've brutally murdered them, which is kind of cool. Wouldn't you agree?
It's a lot easier than what I have to go through.
Now the basketball guy is being chased by horrible, horrible monsters. He tries to run away from the monster, but ends up falling down on the stairs on his way to the roof. And oh, fuck, dude. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Basketball dude has turned into some monster now. Basketball guy in his new monster form starts violently shredding these other demons to bits. Pretty cool fucking monster fight for being so early in the film. Amino Jacko, after he shreds those demons, says, "Yo, I'll take you on now, Chojin," and blast this motherfucker. However, he starts melting after being hit by lightning and begins reverting back to his normal human man form. However, after being hit by lightning, basketball guy is very, very dead. This little dumbass says the only way that guy could have gotten power is if he drank the blood of the Chojin. And he's like, what the fuck? That dude licked old boy's face. And it turns out his sister is correct. We know now that Megumo is the Chojin, supposedly. And she's gonna ruin his date with Akemi immediately.
After last night, how could you forget?
What's going on?
I don't know what.
You asshole.
Akemi.
As he escapes and tries to run away, he gets hit by a fucking car. And he literally fucking dies. It turns out that being the Chojin means that if you suffer a fatal injury or something like that, you will be put in this state of limbo while the Chojin or the demons can rebuild you. And in the middle of the night, grabs a night nurse. And he proceeds to assault her. Blows her to pieces. What the hell? And it starts absorbing people into himself, making himself bigger and kaiju size. What the fuck? Well, this hospital's getting out of control. Oh, he looks nuts. Oh, shit. All those people absorbed into him make him stronger. Oh shit, wiping the streets. So I guess the Chojin is reborn. I guess. In the evil demon world, the head of the demons sends these two out to find somebody who hates Nagumo because they are just too weak to fight the Chojin. And only somebody who hates the Chojin can kill him, apparently. Anyway, back to school. Literally the next day at school, they talk about how that chaotic crap that happened at the hospital was a gas explosion. Amano is telling Akemi that Nagumo is okay and he's on his way here. This guy back here is named Nikki. He is a shy loser type guy who likes Akemi. I guess he'll be the one that hates Nagumo.
Fucking Nagumo. I'm not gonna let that idiot take you away from me.
Oh, and there's our boy, back from the dead. Nobody brings it up, whatever. Nikki watches Akemi run off with Nagumo, and he's bummed out. So Nagumo and Akemi go hang out, and they're pretty much like, I don't know who that woman was, and you forgive me, right? And she's like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. As long as we're together, I feel good, blah, blah, blah. Amano shows up to these two and says, yo, I need you both to go with me. There's some places we need to go and shit we gotta see. Takes them to the good demon world where they can meet his master, the old elder, and pretty much brag to say, look, I found the Chojin, everybody. While he's here, he pretty much lays out that every 3,000 years, the Chojin will be born into the humans and unify the three worlds, bringing peace, sort of. Nikki, who is hanging out with a bunch of chicks and getting bullied, dominant, I don't know, whatever.
Suck it, you shit.
Doesn't seem to be enjoying it too much. And then this shit happens. Whoa. Yikes. Long story short, some bad demons show up, kill all the chicks, and tell him that, hey, we'll give you power, and you can use it to kill Nagumo and take Akemi for yourself. Take this, and they throw him a monster tentacle and say to cut his dick off and replace it with this and soak it in the blood of two people. Okay. Nikki goes home and starts getting the shit beat out of him by his extremely abusive, horrible parents. As they left a beaten mess on the floor, he decides to do what the demons asked. Gets a big old blade, up in the air. Nikki is not having a very good night. Back in the good demon world, they finally meet the old master. And he's like, look, I found the damn Chojin, ain't I cool? He takes one look at him and freaks the fuck out and throws them all back to the human world. Back in the human world, everybody's like, oh, what the hell? And Amano's like, oh, my stupid old master, he's getting old and senile. I know I'm right. But then they hear a disturbance. Nikki's in there beating some ass with his new powers. Ooh. Nikki shows up and says, hey, Cammy, why don't you come with me? But then something gets in the way and says, nah, that's my girl. And he's like, what the fuck was that? I don't know what the hell that was, motherfucker, but I'll get you sometime later. I'm going now. The good demons are very obviously like, I smell a bad demon. If the story seems like it's jumping around all over the place, that's because it is. One of the problems with this story is pacing. They jump from one thing to another and don't really explain it a whole bunch. I can't show too much of this next scene because Nikki is literally having sex with like 5 girls all at once and everybody's naked. And he's yelling at him, he's being mean to him, and he's like, oh, I fucking hate Nagumo, a piece of shit, and he's fantasizing that these girls are Akemi, and he kind of starts crying in the middle of it. Very uncomfortable. Meanwhile, the bad demons are running around in a subway, I guess. Amino Jacko literally shows up and kills the fuck out of these guys. And he's like, what the shit? Who sent you? The leader of the demons shows up, and these two got some history together. The leader of the bad demons is named Sweet Haka Jew. What's up with all these demons and having funny names? Pazuzu.
Shut the fuck up, you bitch!
Amino thinks the Chojin is here to unify and pacify the three worlds and bring about prosperity in that. Sweet Hakaju thinks the Chojin is just gonna fucking destroy everything. And they have this big Dragon Ball type fight out in public where they're all fucking each other up. Meanwhile, Nagumo and Akemi are in his bedroom and they're kind of going at it, doing some oral sex stuff. Nagumo premature ejaculates onto Akemi's face. Bam! Talk about rudely interrupted. It's Nikki, you bastard. You came in and stole her. Ew. After Nikki eats that, he gets a boost of power, because apparently that's how that works. If you want Akemi back, then come back to this abandoned construction site. I'll be waiting, you piece of shit, and takes off. Meanwhile, Amino and Sweet Hakaju are still having a big-ass fight. So Amino ends up winning the fight, and the demon guy goes back to hell. Nagumo ends up showing up at the construction site looking kind of mad. This guy pulls a whole bunch of funny faces. While the Chojin is repairing his body, he goes into demon form, and they have a fight. And there's Nikki in his demon form. Stab. Ooh. Oh, that's nasty. After the fight, Nikki turns back into a human, as does Nagumo. And then this happens.
Oh my god, how could I do this? I did it, I killed Nikki! Oh my god! No!
Nagumo, wait!
Wait for me!
Nagumo! Wait for me!
Amino Jacko is pretty confused about all this. He goes to his old master, and his old master pretty much says that for centuries there's been debate about the legend. Some say he's here to deliver us, others believe he is here to destroy. And after what's been happening, the old master is inclined to believe that the Chojin is a bad destroyer of worlds. And Amino Jacko is kind of like, what the fuck? So what do we do about it? They pretty much tell him there's nothing he can do about it. This is pretty much Armageddon. How you gonna stop Armageddon? And he's like, oh, well, I'm gonna try anyway. Whatever. Akemi follows Nagumo into an apartment where he's hiding, and he's like, I'm a monster, don't be with me. And she's like, I love you, I don't care what you are. And they finally have sex. One of the only consensual sexual acts in this whole movie. And that's saying something. What starts off as a tender moment starts getting a little strange when the darkness starts taking control. I would like to believe that this is what I look like when it's business time. They keep having sex, and he keeps transforming more and more into a monster. And when he finally climaxes, it's Chojin time. He literally transforms into a giant kaiju of a demon. Demons begin spilling out into the streets, and they begin attacking the shit out of the humans. It's a nasty scene. There he is. That thing's fucking crazy. And he starts firing out lasers, killing everything. He looks insane. It becomes obvious very quickly that the Chojin, or the giant monster now, is not the savior of the three worlds, but an all-consuming destroyer of worlds. It becomes very apocalyptic very fast. Everybody, good and bad demon, all rush him. Oh, shit. Nobody is a match for the Chojin.
It's terrible. He's killing everyone.
As they're flying around, the leader of the demon world, Sweet Hakuju, shows up and says, I know how to fight a kaiju with another kaiju. And he summons the great demon of the ocean. So let's see how that works out. Oh shit. Whoa. Whoa.
No, don't!
A little late for oh don't. Whoa. Oh fuck. I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that that didn't work. So, the city's fucking destroyed now. A lot of people are dead. Amino and his sister are like, what the fuck are we gonna do now? Amino has had enough of this bullshit and decides to take matters into his own hands. And he flies into it, busts through his power, and splat right into his head. Now Amino Jako is now inside the giant Chojin's head, in which I can't show anything about this because literally it's just full of naked people. He's in there like, what the hell is this? And then a floating, glowing Akemi shows up with her womb pulsating, and a voice is coming out of it that says, I'm the Chojin, the unborn child of Nagumo and Nikemi. Nagumo is not the Chojin. He is the demon who will build the world in my image. And Nikemi is my mom who will birth me. But in order to build the worlds in his image, they first need to be wiped clean. That includes civilization, species, everything. So he can rebuild it anew. Amino's like, why? Why do you gotta do this? And it literally says, because I said so. Amino is freaking out, and he flies out and busts out of the Chojin's body. Or, I'm sorry, busts out of Nagumo's body, who is a giant demon. Akemi regains a little bit of her senses and pretty much floats in front of giant demon Nagumo's face and says, please, let's not do this anymore. Please kill me. Kill me and we'll live together in eternity in peace. I don't want to hurt anybody in this, that, and whatever. Giant demon goes to try to squish little Akemi, but just like before, darkness won't let this happen. Literally pushes him apart and says, nah, not till I'm born. And Akemi flies off somewhere, and Nagumo resumes his apocalyptic destruction. More city blowing up, damn. While Amino Jako and his sister are like, well, we're gonna continue living. We're gonna see this to its end. Even if it takes another 1,000 years. I will see it to the end.
I won't die!
The movie literally ends with this panning shot and narration from the very beginning describing the entire legend and plot all over again. The credits roll on this final shot, and the movie's over. That was The Legend of the Overfiend. This movie is a cult classic and has a pretty large following. This is exactly what an old person thinks of when somebody says, you watch Japanese anime, it's over the top, ridiculous, ultra violent, super sexual, makes no sense, and got a lot of really weird philosophy ideas. I personally like this because of how far out there and ultra violent and screwed up it is. It's just kind of my thing. I can't really recommend it to a casual anime fan. Like, if you like Dragon Ball Z and One Piece and stuff like that, this is probably going to be a little much for you. For the fans of the extreme and the bizarre, I recommend it. It has 2 sequels, which I've seen, and no, they do not continue this plot line. They make up their own bullshit afterwards. It's like they completely ignore the ending of this one. However, the manga series, I'm sure, continues it. So, if you want to know more, you're going to have to go on that route. I had a pretty good time watching this movie. It's a little confusing. I had to watch it like 2 or 3 different times to really get the scope of what's going on. Just watching it the first time was like, what the fuck, all the way to the end. You think you know what's going on, but then it throws another twist at you. But like the DVD cover says, this movie is absolutely not for children. Would I consider it a porno? No. I would consider it an ultra-violent movie that has a lot of sex in it. There's a bunch of trailers on the DVD, and those are straight porno anime trash. Like, they're so stupid, and the music is terrible, and all it is just a bunch of anime fucking. Not one of them comes to the level of this. Been wanting to talk about this movie for a little bit, so glad I did it. However, this was kind of a hard episode to make because of all the content that I really just can't show and had to work around, you know. But that'll do it for me and Pazuzu. If you made it to the very end, then hell yeah! We'll see you next time.